I'd like to call to order the November 18th conference, 2021 conference meeting of the Mobile County Commission. Do we have any speakers?
Good morning, Commissioners. We have two people signed up. They don't have a formal presentation, but they're available to answer questions on agenda item 15, should you guys
Item 15.
request that. It's the Volcker and Horn team.
Okay. All righty. Okay, Glenn?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Number one, approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 8th, 2021. Number two, approve a claim list. Number three, hold a public hearing so any citizen of the county shall be given an opportunity to be heard for or against any item related to the statement of revenues. Number four, adopt resolution authorizing request of the Sheriff's Office to dispose of certain items from the fixed assets inventory list. Number five, adopt a resolution to dissolve Mobile County Recreation Board established by resolution of Mobile County Commission on January 13, 1992 for Softball City. Number six, approve appropriation contract with Crichton Youth Services, Inc. in the amount of $5,000 to be divided as follows for its ambassador program. Number seven, approve appropriation contract with Mobile Singing Children in the amount of $10,000 from District 1 funds for operating expense. Number eight, approve appropriation contract with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $15,000 from District 1 funds for LED scores tables, bleachers, and teacher-student incentives. Number nine, approve appropriation contract with the City of Sims in the amount of $15,000 from District 2 funds to purchase body camera equipment for the Sims Police Department. Number 10, approve appropriation contract with Bioyulo Battery, Chamber of Commerce to change purpose of funds. The contract was approved on June 28, 2021. Item number 9, funds will be used for its annual Come to the Bayou membership drive. Number 11, approve appropriation contract with Baker Honeybees Booster Club in the amount of $5,500 from District 3 funds for a visitors softball dugout at Baker High School. Excuse me. Number 12, approve a contract amendment number 2 with Mott McDonald, Alabama to provide design, bid, and construction engineering and inspection services for project Mobile County Park Initiative, Chicxulub Utility Infrastructure Upgrades. Number 13, approve contract amendment number 3 with Mott McDonald, Alabama to provide design, bid, and construction engineering and inspection services for project Mobile County Park Initiative, Chicxulub Conference Center. Number 14, authorize consent to installation, operation, and maintenance of cable and other equipment at James T. Strickland Youth Center by Comcast Cable Communications for use by the Bridge, Inc. at no cost to the county. Number 15, authorize assignment of task order number 2 to Volcker, Inc. to provide program management, monitoring, and compliance and administrative services for the management and implementation of the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds.
Do either of you have any questions of the representatives from Volcker?
I don't think I do at this time.
Okay.
Okay. Number 16, authorize Mobile County parking garage stair repair to Clark Gear Latham and Associates, Inc. The project will consist of an evaluation of the existing condition, project development, bidding, and administration of repairs for a total fee of $22,500. Number 17, approve change order number 1 for Lower Alabama Heating, Cooling, and Refrigeration for project replace York Chiller at Metro 325 Man Barracks. If implemented, the change will decrease the contract by the amount of $5,000 for unused allowance. The new contract will be $19,800. Number 18, adopt a resolution authorizing requests of the Electronics Department to dispose of certain items from fixed asset inventory lists. Number 19, approve rescinding authorization of subrecipient agreement with United Cerebral Palsy of Mobile, Inc. for an amount of $30,000 for food pantry and respite services programs under the Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus at the request of the United Cerebral Palsy of Mobile, Inc. Number 20, authorize assignment of Watkins AC Strunk Design Group for Project Sims Senior Center Walking Trail. Work will consist of the design, bidding, and construction administration services. The proposed fee is $23,040. Number 21, authorize the sale to the city of Pritchard of the following surplus vehicles and equipment from the county garage at fair market value. Number 22, approve a purchase from ThinkGuard of 4 new 18 TB Dado flash appliances and monthly services at a total cost of $10,598.16 per month for 3 years, plus a one-time implementation fee of $499, subject to the terms and conditions of the county's current agreement with ThinkGuard. Number 23, adopt a resolution authorizing request of the county garage to dispose of certain items from fixed assets inventory list. Number 24 needs to be voted at the conference. Accept grant award from the Department of Justice Office of Justice Programs for the 2021 Mobile Area Law Enforcement Initiative Justice Assistance Grant in the amount of $195,140 for the project period October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2024 with no local match.
So moved.
Number 25, approve sponsorship agreement with South Alabama Regional Planning Commission in the amount of $2,500 from the general funds for its annual meeting to be held on January 20th through the 21st, 2022. Number 26, approve sponsorship with the agreement with Dauphin Island Heritage and Arts Council, Inc. in the amount of $3,000 from District 3 funds for its annual Golf Seafood Gala. Number 27, approve sponsorship agreement with the Hargrove Foundation in a total amount of $5,000 to be divided as follows for its annual Hargrove Foundation Gala. And number 28, Commissioners, due to Connie Hudson's absence on Monday, do you wish to vote at the conference or hold it over until December 13th?
I would like to go ahead and, if there's any discussion, have it, but I'd like to go ahead and vote on it today myself.
Item number 28. Oh, I don't have any. I think where is Cynthia? Is she here?
She's here right
She's here.
Oh,
Up at the
there
top.
she. Okay, so the final maps you showed us, that's what we're pursuing with this at this point, where this would complete all of the redistricting.
This would be advertising the proposed plan that would come up in front of y'all.
Right. Okay, but the final plan that basically you showed to each commissioner and,
That is the proposed plan.
okay,
This would advertise the map would be
Right.
advertised for the public to,
Yeah, the map has to be advertised for 2 consecutive weeks before y'all can vote.
okay. So so 2 weeks of advertising and then it'll come up for a vote. Okay, and this is for the advertising. Well, I don't have any opposition to getting that process started, so
Okay.
I'll be glad to make that motion if we vote on it today.
you can enter, I can,
Pardon?
that's fine.
So you're going to second it?
Motion second.
That's fine means second.
No,
For the record,
I just never heard you make a motion.
For the record, can I go ahead and read it? Okay. Number 28, authorize advertising the proposed Mobile County Commission redistricting map as a display and in the following publication for the 2 consecutive weeks. Call News, La Casa Latina, Laniat Press Register, The Connection.
Okay, it's been approved to move forward.
Okay. Number 29, approve professional services agreement with Airwind, Inc. in a total amount of $9,100 for probate court to include needed services for deliverables, to update and add segments to the existing appointed lawyer video services. 30, adopt a resolution authorizing requests of probate court to dispose of certain items from fixed assets inventory lists. 31, consider taking the following action on bids. 32, approve of subscription renewal for ACA 1095 reporting 2024 with ProWare in the amount of $349 for County Commission. 33, approve annual service maintenance agreement on the various shop machinery tools with United Rentals in the amount of $2,215 for the building maintenance department. 34, approve annual water treatment services with Triple Point Industries for the total amount of $13,990.53 for various county facilities. And 35, approve a sponsorship agreement with Mobile Police Department Mounted Auxiliary in a total amount of $500 funds to be divided as follows for its 30th annual Mardi Gras Mounted Police School scheduled on February 22nd through March 3rd, 2022. And that's it.
Madam President, before we go to the engineering agenda, I do have a question for our Volcker
Okay.
consultants. When do you anticipate having the projects completely vetted and a list of those projects to the commissioners? Good morning.
So right now, we received around 200 applications. So we have vetted roughly half of those. We've completed or are near completion about 50 risk assessments in total right now. And that we have, I'll just kind of tell you too, we have 4 analysts full-time assigned to this, supervisor assigned to this, a manager assigned to this, and a senior manager. So we're trying to expedite it. Our anticipation is that we'll have them complete and finished probably the first or second week of December. And then the plan per our conversation with county staff yesterday is we'll probably set aside a day or two where we go through and try and aggregate what you potentially want us allocate money to. And so these risk assessments they're very detailed. They track with the language associated with what is the interim final rule right now. So and the reason that is important is that we actually cite the language in the interim final rule relative to the particular expenditure as it exists right now on this date. Because if the rules change later on, we want the record to reflect that we made the decision on the best information that's available at the time for you guys. So that's a long way of saying that we anticipate completion the first, maybe second week at the latest of December. Some of that obviously is dependent on others responding to our request. So we'll have a proposal, but we might not have all the information we need to make an accurate determination. And so some of the slowdown is kind of hurry up later. But I believe we shared with you guys, we have a multi-tiered review process where an analyst will review it and hopefully get all the information we need from that if everything's not there. Then we have a second analyst take a completely new view of it so that we have 2 subject matter experts reviewing this without and trying to take the subjectivity out of it. And then once that is complete, they get together, hopefully find their common ground, and then it moves up the chain of command to a supervisor. And in those cases, I'm the one that's also taking the final view of it as well to make sure that we're all good. This is permissible expenditure. There's nuance there sometimes. Sometimes they're partially good, and sometimes not. And sometimes we, in the case of
Equity-based service. Wow.
That helped.
I don't know what happened there, but that's. I feel like I got more
We
powerful
won't
or
make
something.
you repeat
So,
all that you said already.
yeah, I feel like I'm more powerful now. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So in conclusion, now that you guys can hear me super well, in many cases you have 6 different criteria under which something could be potentially qualified: healthcare, equity-based services, things of that nature, revenue loss. in the case of equity-based services, what we're seeing, and sometimes I think it's a really good thing, we'll actually have two qualifications. So they'll be qualified under two different permissible expenditures. And so we note that in those risk assessments so that if the auditors come in and have a problem with one, we have a fallback too. And so, the understanding is that the auditors are going to look at all of this. And so we're trying to build a diligent record. And that takes time, but in the end, it's worth it. I would be remiss too if I didn't mention, and I believe you guys know this, but the U.S. Senate passed a bill a few weeks ago that may allow some more freedom of expenditure. It frees up either 30% or up to $10 million of your allocation to use for more general purposes like roads and bridges that are not necessarily a bright line expenditure right now. So that's in the House, waiting on the House to vote on it. Our folks in Washington seem to believe that it will pass. Obviously, there have been some other big pieces of legislation that have been going on right now with the infrastructure bill and whatnot that's occupied some of that time. But we'll keep your staff updated as to whether that happens. I say all that to say it's not necessarily a bad thing to not necessarily hit the brakes, but to let off the gas a little bit in expending money, because if this does come to pass, it frees you guys up to spend money in some other ways too, on roads and bridges in particular.
So you anticipate having all of these projects vetted and completed by the
middle of December, first or second week of December.
First or
yes,
second
ma'am.
week of December. At that point, you will hand that information to the county and to the commissioners for our own vetting in terms of setting priorities.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
and then that report, the final categories that are submitted to Treasury that's expected is right now, is it still the end of January?
Yes, ma'am. It's January 31st is when the report is due, and that's just a status check, basically. It doesn't mean that you have to have a bunch of everything spent by then or allocated by then. It's just a status report to let them know where we are in our process. So we'll update them on the money that has been or is intended to be expended, so revenue loss calculation or the payment for PPE that happened earlier. But it is not a deadline for you guys to allocate all these funds to all these projects. It's effectively just a status report to tell them what we have spent and give them an idea of what we plan on potentially spending on.
But we do need to have specific projects or categories identified at that point?
Yes and no. So the ones that we have identified, we will list. And we will also give some information on things that may be potential targets. But we're not obligated by anything. So you guys technically have until December 31st of 2024 to actually obligate all of your funds. And so it's a rolling time period. So that January 31st report, though, it will be pretty extensive. Don't let that put undue pressure on you that we have to have subrecipient agreements executed for the things that we want to spend money on, if that makes sense.
But it still has to be either obligated or spent by 2026?
That's correct. It has to be completely expended and pencils down 2026. And so the obligation just means it's basically under contract. So you've executed a contract or have taken, made a purchase order relative to that XYZ, whatever that is, whether it's a program or you just have to have the money encumbered by the end of 2024.
Encumbered, but not necessarily all spent
That's
for
correct.
a project.
That's
okay,
correct.
I just want
That's
to get
correct.
that straight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's it.
Just to update on the report that's due at the end of January, that is a quarterly report. So as this program continues to progress and evolve, that information that's in that report will be updated and resubmitted on a quarterly basis all the way through the multi-year program. So you don't have to have everything figured out by January 31st of 22 is what I'm saying, is there's opportunity to continue to update that report as we move
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The Treasury guidance essentially anticipates that things will change. When you read through it, they anticipate that there'll be, God forbid, but there'll be other COVID spikes, and that might require more purchase of PPE in 2022 or 23. So the intent of this long runway for expenditure is that things may happen in the future that we're not anticipating now that may require this money to be expended. And so, so that's kind of where we are.
Well, thank you for being here today, updating us,
Yeah.
and for your due diligence. We appreciate that. It's very important to us.
We love working with you guys and really appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Timothy Smith, name for the record.
Stan Winter with Volcker.
Thank you.
So Dina, can I turn this mic off now?
Before you do, I did want to say thank you to Cynthia. When she was up here, she has put so much time and effort into these redistricting maps, and she's such a professional. She has such expertise. We are so fortunate to have her to help us with this because when it comes up, and really she and her department, they work on this all year, every year, but especially now after a census, whenever all the maps have to be changed. So we are grateful. Thank you. Okay, now I'm done.
All right. You're not gonna be here Monday. You're not gonna be here Monday.
I said, no, I'm done with that.
But are you gonna be here Monday? I thought you said something about you gonna be here on Monday.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay.
I think I am.
You need to learn to clone yourself like I have. I need to.
All right.
Oh, wait a second.
Really?
Okay. That Glenn said something about voting because you wouldn't be here, and that's why I was okay. All right, you got it. You gonna be here Monday?
Gotcha.
No, yeah, I'll be here. I plan to be here Monday.
All right. I hate
I
to.
wasn't, but I was, but I'm now not. So.
Okay. All right. We good. So we got that figured out. Let's see. Senior Kegley.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Okay, we recommend taking the following action on the below listed items. Item 1, approve setting the following speed limits as listed below for the road segments of roads and subdivision streets. Item 2, authorize to advertise and receive bids for Silver Pine Road, one of our R projects. Item 3, authorize to advertise and receive bids for Beulah Battery Streets, which is a resurfacing project. Item 4, authorize to advertise and receive bids for the Mobile County Soccer Complex surcharge project.
What is a surcharge project?
It's when you take out bad soil and you put in good soil and then you compact it. You're building the sub base for your structure.
Yeah.
And that's a surcharge.
That's what they call it.
Now, Commissioner, we bring in material and stack it up on top of the bad soils underneath, and that weight compresses the soils and squeezes that moisture out of it, allows pre-compression of the soils.
Okay.
That's what that is.
I only know one context for surcharge. That's why it threw me.
It threw me as well.
Okay.
Item 5, approve agreement for relocation of utility water line facilities in conflict with one of our roadway projects. This is with MCB Water Authority for the Weaver Road East realignment project. Item 6, approve construction agreement with the state of Alabama for our Tanner Williams Road additional lane project. That is from Interstate 10 up to Old Pascagoula Road.
Mark, repeat that. Tanner Williams.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Tanner Williams. That is from Ziegler Boulevard to Snow Road. That's in Commission District 2. Yes. Sorry about that.
You threw me when you said McDonald Road.
You were saying that was a long way.
That's another project. This is the 5-laning in Commissioner Hudson's district from basically right there at Ziegler Boulevard westward all the way out there to Snow. Yeah. Item 7, authorize acquisition of the property and acceptance of the right-of-way deeds as listed. Item 8, accept a petition for the property from the property owners adjacent to the Gulf Park Drive private, requesting to change the name of a portion of the road and adopt a resolution changing the name of said segment of Gulf Park Drive private to Gulf Park Drive South.
Is it still private?
It would remain private, just change the name. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Item 9, approve preliminary and final plat of Neal Sales Division, that's in Commission District 1, and approve preliminary and final plat of Hannes and Hannah Smith subdivision, that's in Commission District 2, and approve preliminary and final plat of Richard Henson subdivision, that is in Commission District 2, and approve preliminary and final plat of Browning subdivision, that is in Commission District 3, and approve preliminary and final plat of Ellen's Cove Unit 1, which is in Commission District 3. Item 10, approve preliminary plat only of Penny Lakes subdivision, and that's in Commission District 2. Item 11, authorize to advertise and receive bids for our Pritchard Streets Elm Street project. It's a grade drain basin pay project.
Yay. Thank you, Kim. This was a bear. This
Yes,
one
was a bear. It was.
2014, but we're
And perseverance paid off. Item 12, approve right-of-way agreement for track 1 on our McDonald Road additional lanes project. Item 13, adopt resolution approving agreement with the state of Alabama for the traffic signal upgrades along the Schillinger Road, Theodore Dawes Road corridor, and Airport Boulevard. Approximate cost is going to be a little over $50,000, Commissioners. Item 14, approve assigning a contract for professional construction engineering and inspection services for our safety improvements on Celeste Road to Driven Engineering. And then, Commissioners, we had 2 add-ons that I delivered to your office a little earlier this morning. The first one being approving work to be performed to refresh the mulch at the Sims Playground. Estimated cost a little over $7,700. And then item number 2, recommend approving an agreement allowing J.M. Wood Auction Company Incorporated to auction off several pieces of equipment that have previously been declared as surplus. And that is currently it.
okay. Anything else? Did you have your hand up, Mr. Ross? Okay. All right. I just noticed on the schedule that we have a meeting scheduled on February 14th, which is like right in the middle of the NACO Legislative Conference. I don't know what I said. I meant to say February 14th. I'm not sure what I said. 2/14. So that creates a conflict, at least for me.
It's in the middle of what?
NACO?
National Association of Counties Legislative Conference. Yeah.
I don't have, are you wanting to combine another meeting?
I just want them to just go back
be
and
aware
look
of
at it, and we'll deal with it later. I just noticed it because I was making arrangements this morning.
Okay.
And noticed the conflict.
We'll take care of it.
Okay. All righty. Anything else?